Hey everyone, welcome back to the layout once again. Today we have another layout update. I got a bit more scenery done, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Not a huge update or not a lot of change from last time, but I thought I'd share with you some of the materials I use as well as we talk through some of the changes that have taken place on the layout. So over here on the south end of Crawford, you'll see that I've added quite a few more trees. This bunch down here was already there, but I decided to populate this little ridge here a little bit as well. And the reason for that is that if you look down the tracks, so you're sort of parallel with them, I wanted to really frame the scene here with trees on either side because there are quite a few shots from Crawford, the actual prototype town, where if you look down the tracks you can see that the trees create sort of a canyon on either side of the tracks, which is kind of unique because this area in Nebraska doesn't really have a lot of trees. And I think the reason that it's fairly densely populated with trees in the town is because property owners have planted them. So as far as materials go here, I'm using all Scenic Express materials. So the trees themselves, all the larger pieces here, bushes, trees, whatever, start as super trees, the Scenic Express product that they sell. It's just natural branch material that I just like cut up or mash together and create the shapes that I need. I then spray it with a spray adhesive, and then I sprinkle on the leaf material, which is super leaf, and it's a variety of colors from like medium green to sage to olive color and dark green as well. And then you'll also see that in some places I've created some bushes, and I wanted these to be more sort of undergrowth, sort of a more twiggy appearance. So for those, in addition to sprinkling on some of the super leaf material, I also added some static grass just to add a bit of variation and make it look like they're a little more prickly, if that makes sense. Now, if we turn the corner just a bit further and come down here to the end of the room, you'll see that I have added quite a bit more grass down in this area. I finished up with the dirt that I showed you in the last video, and then went over this with some static grass, and then you'll see I have some different types of trees over here. I'm trying to recreate some ponderosa pines over in this area because what's interesting is that most of Crawford Hill is populated with evergreens or pine trees, but the area right around Crawford has quite a few deciduous trees. Once again, I think that's because people probably planted those there. Those were the tree of choice. But elsewhere where there are trees just sort of naturally dispersed, they're pretty much all these ponderosa pines. And I've created these once again with the Scenic Express super trees, but then instead of spreading the super leaf material on it, I'm using a dark green, really short fiber static grass, and that creates the pine needles on the trees. As for the grass that I've planted over here and in the other scenes that I've started, I'm using primarily Silflor products. I like their golden grass and late summer colored static grasses. These are 6.5mm fibers, so they're pretty tall, but they work well for the prairie grass that I'm trying to simulate here. And because they're taller fibers, sometimes it's hard to get them to sit closely to each other because they kind of like to fall over, and they don't really fill in the dirt all the way. So if you want a really rich, sort of fully planted look so that you can't see the dirt through the grass, I like to add Scenic Express. Nope, I'm going to start over. Woodland Scenics. I like to add Woodland Scenics static flock that you can get in the big containers. They're kind of washed out colors. They're really light, almost tan greens, but they're shorter fibers. They're like 1 to 3 millimeters, and they really tend to fill in the longer grasses. And I also like to use these shorter Woodland Scenics grasses close to the edges of roads and things like that, where I need the grass to sort of fade out, and I like the profile or the height of the grass to also fade out as it gets close to the road or to the tracks. Now, although I have been getting a bit of scenery done, you'll notice that there's still quite a bit to do, even in these sections that have grass and trees and things like that. I need to add ballast, but beyond that, I want to add some more weeds, create some variation in the grass, and I really want to line the back edge of the layout with as many trees as I can without making it look too wooded. So Anyway, that's really all I have for this update. That's all I've been up to. I actually do have some things in the works though, as far as reworking some track arrangements, I think. So I might have some interesting news to share with you guys in the next update. And later today, in fact right after this video, I will be shooting trains running. So we'll have a layout rail fanning video, and then I still have a lot to upload from my my most recent rail fanning trip out west, which I got back from about a week and a half ago. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.